What is going on, everybody? Right now we are going to take a quick look and a quick comparison really on the Galaxy Note 9 and compare it to the Galaxy Note 5. Now obviously the Galaxy Note 7 had the problems, so Samsung actually sold the Note 5 for a very long time, almost 2 years, and it's still a very good contender, I would say, because really it's only 2 versions behind this phone. And some people might be wondering which one you would get. Now I'm gonna say obviously the Note 9 hasn't officially been released yet. I mean, some people got their hands on it, I haven't, so I won't really be able to go too in depth about it, but just keep in mind that when it does fully come out, I'm going to do a full comparison with almost every single flagship that's been released in the last couple of years. But this is more so just a quick comparison, just basing it off the specs and everything, and whether you should upgrade to the Galaxy Note 9 from a Galaxy Note 5. Now in terms of the body, they're pretty much almost in the same size realm, but you do have to remember the Galaxy Note 9 does have a much bigger screen now. The Note 9 has a 6.4 inch screen, but the Note 7 had a 5.7 inch screen. But you do have to remember that the Note 5 did have a home button with the fingerprint sensor within it, but the fingerprint sensor has been moved to the back on the Note 9. It actually moved to the back on the Note 8, but now there's no home button, there's only virtual buttons now, but they're both Super AMOLED screens and they're both 1440p. Now believe it or not, okay, the Galaxy Note 5 technically does have a higher PPI, which is pixels per inch, than the Galaxy Note 9. So we're at 518 pixels per inch on the Note 5 and 516 pixels per inch on the Note 9. So technically speaking, on paper, the Galaxy Note 5 does have a better screen, but not really. You have to remember that the technology has improved. We have Gorilla Glass 5, we have HDR10, whatever that means. And you also have, technically, it's not 1440 by 2560 like on the Note 5, it's 1440 by 2960, so technically it is a higher resolution screen. Now moving on, I mean, one thing that really saddens me just based off the specs is that the Note 7 still hasn't gotten Android 8.0. I really don't think it's going to, which is so stupid because Samsung was selling this phone for so long because the Note 7, I would have just figured they would have just had another year of updates, but they didn't. So the Note 9 just got released with Android 8.1 Oreo, but the Galaxy Note 5 got 5.1.1 Android, a lollipop right when it started, and now it's only upgradable to Android 7.0 Nougat, which really sucks. I really wish they increased it, but I mean, what else are you gonna do, you know? You can always root it and ROM it and increase or update it that way, but that really just depends on if the developers have actually made a ROM for it yet. I'm sure there's Android 8.0 ROMs out for it, but it's still kind of weird that that is the case. Now in terms of the specs, I mean, I can list these specs off and everything, but I'm going to tell you that the Note 9 is far more faster than the Galaxy Note 5. So on the Note 5, we have an Exynos 7420 Octa chipset, we have an octa-core CPU clocked at 2.1 GHz, a Mali T760 GPU, I'm not really too sure. Maybe it also has the Adreno 630 and 4 GB of RAM, where the Galaxy Note 9 has the Snapdragon 845, an octa-core CPU clocked at 2.7 GHz, an Adreno 630 and 8 GB of RAM on the 512 GB variant and 6 GB of RAM on the 128 GB version. Now based off those specs, you can tell that obviously the Note 9 has almost twice the amount of RAM than the Galaxy Note 5 if you get the 512 GB version. But the greatest thing that really makes me go for the Note 9 than the Note 5 is the micro SD card slot. Now the Note 5 did not have one, if you guys remember, which really was stupid. I don't know why they did that, but you're able to put a 512 GB SD card into the Note 9, where you can't do that on the Note 5, and you can increase the memory up to 1 terabyte, which is 1,000 GB. So you can have 1,000 GB of phone in your pocket, which is super insane, and that's a huge reason why you should get the Note 9 over the Note 5. Now if we're going on to the camera, on the Note 5 there was a 16 megapixel camera, and on the Note 5 it's a 12 megapixel camera, and if you were basing it just off that, you'd probably assume that the Note 5's camera is better, but again, megapixels aren't everything, and the Note 5's camera isn't really even that bad, but it's not as good as the Note 9's compared to what Samsung is telling us right now. So even just based off what it has optical image stabilization, you're able to shoot 4K videos at 60 frames per second, where you're not able to do that on the Note 5. You're only able to do 4K at 30 frames per second, 1080p at 240 frames per second, and you're able to shoot, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but 720p at 960 frames per second, which is insane. I don't know who would want to do that, but at least we have that option. Now in terms of the front camera, a 5 megapixel camera on the Note 5, 8 megapixel camera on the Note 9, and they're both able to shoot 1440p at 30 frames per second, but I mean, we're all going to be able to know that the Note 9's camera is going to be better, so that's basically that about the cameras. Now in terms of battery life, I never had too good battery life on the Note 5. I don't know what the problem was with it, maybe the chipset, maybe whatever, but it had a 3000 mAh battery, which wasn't too good. It was a little bit below average, I would say. The Note 9 has a 4000 mAh battery, and Samsung really advertises things as having like all day battery life, so I'm pretty sure it's going to have better battery life in terms of that, but I'm really praying that that is the case. And some other notable talking points: they both have headphone jacks, they both don't have removable backs like I said, they both do have the S Pen, but apparently Samsung has really upped that game up a little bit, and the S Pen on the Note 9 is much better than what it is on the Note 5. They both have glass backs. The Note 9 does have a dual camera setup where the Galaxy Note 5 doesn't. Me personally, I do kind of like the actual home button and the capacitive buttons on the front of the screen rather than having a nav bar on the Note 9, but that is personal preference. And you do also have the home button on the front of the phone where it's on the back of the Note 9. And you have USB Type-C on the Galaxy Note 9 and a regular micro USB on the Galaxy Note 5. So overall, I do think that the Note 9 is definitely a very good upgrade from the Note 5. But at the same time, I do think the Note 8 is a very good upgrade from the Note 5 as well. The difference between the Note 9 and the Note 8 isn't as much as it was from the Note 8 to the Note 5. So if you don't want to get the Note 9, you should at least get the Note 8. I will leave a link to that in the description below so you can get that. And I don't know if Amazon has Note 9s yet, but I'll leave one down there too for the Note 9. And I'll leave one down there for the Note 5 too, why not? But that is pretty much it. Again, this is just like a bird's eye view of everything. This isn't supposed to be like a full comparison. Once I do get my hands on the phone, then I'm definitely going to do one. So stay tuned for that. Comment down if you guys have any questions, but definitely hit that like button. But more importantly, hit that subscribe button. We're still giving away an iPhone 6s and an iPhone SE on this channel, and I literally hate saying it in every video, but it's something I gotta say. So in order to enter, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both those links are down in the description, so make sure you guys enter. I'm gonna end this giveaway in like a week, so I'm gonna be picking the winners then. So if you haven't entered yet, you might as well enter now. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.